have Conrad Gusin talk to us. Conrad, good to see you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shimi. Thank God it's Friday. Though I have to say these days in Corona times, we also all have to say, thank God we still have jobs.
Absolutely. Thank God it's Friday. Anyway, stock exchanges in Britain and France are closed today because of V-Day, which commemorates the end of the Second World War in Europe. Meanwhile, in Germany, there's more proof showing the strongest economic crisis since this war, and a report about about the latest numbers, export numbers.
Yes, the export numbers, the biggest slump since data for exports were started to be collected after Germany's reunification at the 1990s. The decline in March was 7.9%, so nearly 8% a decline of exports, and that, of course, is adding to all the other negative economic data we've been getting in the course of this week. Industrial production numbers, factory orders, all of them proving that the slump in Germany's economy beginning in March with the corona lockdown was unprecedented. Of course, as a consequence now, hundreds of thousands of workers in German businesses are very concerned whether their jobs are still safe, whether those temporary relief programs by the German government, where the government pays parts of the wages for the workers, will be enough to save their job. Or in other words, whether what we are seeing right now is only a horrible but short slump followed by a nice recovery, or whether, this decline in factory orders and business activity is here to stay. I talked to an economist today who told me that he thinks that the current prediction of 6.5% contraction of GDP here in Germany this year is too optimistic. Still, as you said, shares are in demand. The share market is up, as you can see right behind me here in the last few minutes, even a little bit of a higher jump of the German share index, which has to do with job numbers from the US. The unemployment rate came in at 14.7%, which is horrible as well, but it's better than anticipated. What's in demand is mostly tech stocks. They are still something that investors are very keen to buy.
Well, talking about those market numbers, Siemens is one of those companies today with a rise in stock price, despite a profit warning and despite statements by the chief financial officer who says it will not be a good idea to say how long the hit by the coronavirus will last. Why are investors so optimistic for the shares?
Siemens is one of those tech companies, a huge German technology company operative in many different fields that investors are putting a lot of hope on and are pretty confident will be booming after, that crisis is over and when the businesses of this world will return. Because, of course, given that the situation for all industries after the corona crisis will be a very difficult one, also after the corona lockdown, it will be eased. Cost cuts, innovation, new technologies, making processes more smooth and more easy to handle and cheaper is something that will drive managers and executives in the future even more. Siemens is a company to profit from that. Also has to be said that Siemens is really a company that manages quite well to communicate with financial markets, to make itself interesting for investors. Take Siemens Healthineers, the spin-off, which was IPO'd, which was brought to the stock market not very long ago, quite a success. Now Siemens is talking about another spin-off and another potential IPO. I'm talking about Flender, the subsidiary of Siemens that is a drive systems manufacturer, which is likely to be integrated with the wind energy generation unit of Siemens and then spun off and then brought public. Very interesting story that Siemens is giving out there today, and that is one more reason for the great demand for the stocks today.
All right, Conrad, we'll leave it at that. Just as you said, thank God it's Friday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.